What's up, guys? Today we're here in Berkeley at Co-Ro, which is a co-roasting facility here in the Bay Area. And today I'm here with Flower Child Coffee. I'm super excited to showcase Preston and John of Flower Child just because their coffees to me are absolutely fantastic. They're that nice, light wash coffee that you just absolutely enjoy. And I really hope you guys try out their coffees after you watch the video. There will be a discount code, so totally check that out. And I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna show you Flower Child Coffee and who they are and what they do. Hope you enjoy. All right, so we're inside and I'm here with Preston of Flower Child. I really just want to be able to share what Flower Child is with you guys because I really think this coffee needs to be out there. You guys got to try this stuff. It is fantastic.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this. I'm Preston. Flower Child is a brainchild, I suppose, of John and I. Something that I've been working towards since college years, so over a decade now. Came to the point, the last job I was at, where I was like, okay, I think I have all of these skills that are essential to building and operating a successful, high quality green coffee roasting company. Flower Child was basically something that it was built for over many years and finally came to fruition this winter. I had been saving for the last 2 or 3 years, selling my art, working in the industry, to be able to afford these green coffees, to throw that money down for the ones that I think are amazing, which are not. They aren't inexpensive. So it was an investment for me, a big one for me. So Flower Child is kind of embodies the idea of where free minds, free thinking people that want to advocate love, peace, beauty being the coffees, the farmers, the production, the place that these coffees come from, which are tropical areas, beautiful places. So I thought that was a really good name for that.
How'd you get into all of this coffee stuff?
So I got into coffee in college and my undergrad and ended up wanting to learn more and more. Ended up becoming a coffee trainer, coffee consultant for cafes. A roommate of mine that I lived with in a loft in Brooklyn bought a few roasters, and so I started buying some of my own green coffee and learning how to roast on those roasters, kind of trying to do what we wanted to see in the industry, that next step of quality green, but also transparent roasting. And so that was a good first step for me, just to see how development, my yard, post-crack development, all that works in a roaster and how it cups post-roast. So that was a great way for me to do that. That was 6, 7, 8 years ago. Continued on working for other companies, doing their green coffee program, roasting program, kind of building that repertoire, but also, building those relationships. Working at cafe is one thing, but doing the green buying and the roasting is a huge undertaking because you need to work with people as closely as possible on the importing, exporting side. And then hopefully if you have good exporter-importer relationships, you can get to know the farmers. When you're paying a high premium or investing in the farmer that, they know or understand like what you're going for in the coffee, either that be cleanliness or whatever, and you can help them afford infrastructure to do so. This isn't just like I just jumped in and started Flower Child. It's probably 6 years in the making as far as the people that I'm bringing, people's coffee that I'm bringing in, the farmers that I'm working with. I've built these relationships with these importers so that when I told them I was starting something, that they understood that what I was looking for was a high caliber green coffee. That's kind of my background, I guess.
I mean, just most recently, Flower Child had an Astrid Medina coffee, and that was fantastic. And you could taste in just the quality of greens. It was like insane. It was up there. And when I tasted that coffee, I was like really blown away by it. And the reason why I was blown away was also because of the roasting style. Flavors were just brought out in cup. Were really done by you guys. Talking about roasting styles, what is like the style that you're after? Like what's your goal like when you're trying to roast?
Yeah, that's really important for us. Like that's really huge for me. That was a big motivator for me to further my work in coffee. We were seeing really great green coffee being brought in the 2000s, teens, and so forth, but we're not seeing it as completely or clearly as we'd like. My approach to roasting was really just hopefully to develop the coffee completely without caramelizing or burning any sugars in the coffee, as well as not doing it any disservice by under roasting it. So you shouldn't taste any grainy or dusty flavors from the roast. Just completely develop the proteins and the overall makeup of the coffee without burning anything on the coffee, in the coffee. So that's the main thing, is just to represent the coffee cherry as clearly as possible through the roasted seed. Astrid's work, for instance, we want to exemplify the terroir, the type of varietal, the way that they processed it. Astrid and Raul do an amazing job to clean their coffee completely, work hard to sort so that you're not tasting through defects in every other cup. And we want to do that justice by roasting it in a more transparent manner. I don't know. I mean, it's not much to say as other than like, I'm not trying to give you roasty flavors and I don't want you to get grain,
The roasting style is what I've been very impressed by. And I mean, it really starts with those greens and those relationships that you've built up over the years. And you're just basically able to present that with your roasting style to us. Like, we're able to taste that. I'm just so happy that I'm here with you. I mean, I bought the coffee before, I've tried the coffee, but to be here to actually see it happen is also, is just like, I'm so excited, and I love this so much.
Appreciate that. And honestly, it's it should be noted that like the work that the producer does, those that do the farm level work, the processing especially is just another huge key factor to what we bring in is so well done that it really makes the roasting process that much easier for us. We don't have to manipulate the coffee as much as we would if it was a high defect coffee or there was age on it or something like that. So the coffee itself, the way that the producer is treating the coffee and picking the coffee, sorting, so on and so forth, all of that makes this so much easier for us to navigate. Just wanted to make that a note, because it's like roasters for, as long as they've been roasting coffee, have been trying to get the right flavor out of a coffee that's got a lot more going on other than seed to cup. There's diseases and things that you got to work with. So luckily we have a high caliber coffee. It's warm. Takes kind of a long time to warm up.
What excites you about a coffee for you to actually pick it?
Yeah, so that's actually the most exciting part for me, is the cupping, green coffee selection, the coffee hunt really, is looking for stuff that's going to be exciting to me, that's apparently in the cup special. Been through the gamut over the years, and have been on the fortunate side of green buying, where I've gotten to taste a lot of high grade coffees. So over the years, thousands and thousands of cups, it's become to my attention what I like, which is generally bright, citrusy, rounded sweetness, balanced, but unique coffees. So whether it has an angle of florality or a specific type of umami, it depends on that region. And you can honestly tell when you're cupping coffee, if it's going to hold, if it's going to have, be clean and, perform well once it arrives into the States. So the selection process is generally, so right now Honduras is harvesting, so we would get pre-shipment samples. Importers will send us pre-shipment samples, and then you go through the gamut. How many the importer decides they want to share with me, and then taste them, find the ones that make sense, right? Yeah. Even the ones that the importer is bringing in, or the importers that I'm working with, they're amazing cuppers. They're highly knowledgeable people about these coffees and what ones are worthy to bring in. These are 86 plus coffees that I'm looking at already. So I'm kind of like cherry picking. But it's great because I'm working with farmers that I've worked with in the past now, and it's cool to pick up where we left off when I last roasted. So selecting the coffee is you kind of have to be on it, because there are a lot of other people, or enough other people who know what's up, and they're gonna snag that coffee. So as soon as you get the samples in, you gotta give the importer some feedback and let them know what your selection is.
I see. Is it more difficult for you to get those greens that you want because you're like two guys versus like some of these, they're like big coffee roasting companies?
Right. Yeah,
that more difficult?
there are a lot of factors. Yeah, it could be more. It definitely could be more difficult for us to get the attention of certain importers. We don't have the buying power of others. We're not buying as much at a time, so we have to be careful and upfront with our buying practices. Luckily, we have a few importers that we're working directly with, deciding that we're just going to stick with. And they've been they base their program off of small business. So they're giving us a fighting chance, or giving us a good look at things that the big dogs are looking at. So, but it can be difficult. It has a heavier weight to buy something like this Chirroso because it's very expensive. It's a big chunk out of my account. So I got to be good for it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What coffees are we roasting today?
Okay, today we are roasting our last batch of Astrid Medina Caturra.
Okay.
Really solid lot. Yeah, she had a few different lots. This one was really jammy and fruity. Perfect time to say goodbye. So thank you, Astrid. And then we've got some awesome coffees. I'm so stoked. This is kind of like Christmas for coffee roasters. East African coffees are coming in. So Brunis have been in. We've got a Kenyan Gataiti. It's mostly SL28, though SL34, Ruru, and Beishan will be in there. The Gataiti is generally a well-renowned washing station. 1,500 plus members of the co-op, so 1,500 farmers bringing in their coffee, sorting them out, cleaning them up, bringing them in. This is an AA from Gataiti. Kind of exemplifies what I love about Kenyan coffees, and hopefully that we'll see more in the future, is that blackberry note in Kenyan coffees. Really well-rounded and not too much of that base acid that you get from Kenyan coffees for whatever reason. Can't figure out why that's a thing. Gataiti is a really, really fun coffee. It was flying off the shelf, so we're really fortunate to have this coffee.
I'm excited about this
our
one.
newest edition, the Antioquia Chirroso from Yanser Uan. Uan took over this farm in Antioquia just a few years ago. And there's Caturra Chirroso, or Chirroso if you want to call it that, being planted in the area of Antioquia, Colombia. And it's an awesome varietal. It performs super, super well. It is generally a favorite out of the area amongst, its other benchmark varietals such as Caturra, Colombia, and Castillo. Chirroso we don't know much about it, but somewhere, somehow, there have been other varietals brought over to Colombia to, implanted, and people kind of just mix it all in. Yanser Uan actually separated this varietal for a competition and won 4th place. One of our favorites from this competition. It's really, really nice. So it's actually genetically identified as an Ethiopian landrace. It makes a lot of sense when you cup it because it's floral, it's rounded, it's fruity, it's long. It also just provides that upfront sweetness that we love about Hambella coffees or Guji coffees. So it's really interesting to get something like that from Antioquia, and something well processed, taken care of, and single lot varietal. First, that's something that's been identified as a single lot varietal is really nice. So pretty fortunate to have that.
So I think we should definitely also talk a little bit about how can we buy some of these coffees, because we're going to go into a roasting soon, and it's going to get really loud, so we might as well talk right now.
Yes.
So now, how do we buy your coffee?
You can get it on our website, which took me too long to build. But yes, you can get it on our website direct, flowerchildcoffee.com. We are only shipping in the States. If you live in Canada, I can work something out.
And because we're here with Prestin, there's a 10% discount code right here.
Brian10.
Brian10.
Yeah, let's do it.
These guys really do some just fantastic work, and I love their coffee. This is good stuff. It is really good stuff. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited to see the roasting process of these two coffees as well. So, yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Let's get into the roasting.
Rock and roll. It's worth more than its weight in gold. Sweet. Oh my God. You know, it's interesting because it is an Ethiopia landrace. It looks like one, you know, but it's just one varietal. It's not a mixture of all these Ethiopia landraces. It's got that long round. You probably see it in Guji if you look at your coffees when you get them. It has that style or shape of a landrace you'll see in your Ethiopian coffees come this, well, they're in. So interesting stuff.
So how much is in one of these right now?
This was expensive green. It was $860 plus green. So your high-end Ethiopians are around 470, 80, 90. So yeah.
Almost twice as expensive?
Yeah, obviously a different market. They had a competition. So a lot of higher-end importers are doing this where they'll have a regional competition. And so Antioquia, they had one, and they brought in some amazing coffees. You probably wouldn't see otherwise, but the beautiful thing about it is that other farmers in the area who are just pooling their coffees and, you know, slugging it off to Nestle or whatever, see this happen and thinking, oh, I could separate those nice shrubs, take those cherries, and enter into something like this and get a top dollar. That's high incentive. So it's cool what they're doing. You know, because, you know, farmers working hard to just do a clean coffee, it's maybe just one extra little step or a little bit of fine tuning, and these farmers can double the profit that they make off of this crop.
How much are you guys roasting today?
Just 3 roasts, just like 40 pounds, 45 pounds. Yeah.
Okay.
This is finally have at least 3 coffees on the menu today, so good timing. It's interesting roasting on this thing because I learned, you know, pretty much on drum roasters, and you can get some convection out of something like a San Franciscan Probat. And I, you know, at the end there, I was trying to manipulate a P12 like it was an air roaster, and it was pretty successful, but this just does such a better job of thoroughly roasting throughout the seed and not giving you any tip scorch or any of that inconsistency from in into the outer part of the seed. It's stressful every time. I like, it's not like a relaxing thing for me. And generally it's like a green cherry, you know, something underripe. So you just pull that out. It's gonna taste dry. It's gonna dry out your cup. You call them Quaker, you call them whatever. It's a minor defect, but it's still one that you can taste in the cup. So we just pull those out. The ones that are pretty obviously not gonna be good for you. So I guess it goes through like several sorting processes, right? They do 3, 4 at the farm level, and then they...
And then there's you.
I guess we do that too. And then they have mechanical sorters now, really fancy ones that do this.
So Preston's been roasting, and he's in the zone. It's just so cool to see how focused he is at the craft. He's roasting some amazing coffees, and requires a lot of skill and a lot of work to get the end. There you go. He's
so stressful.
He's just like, yeah. Did you do it?
Yeah, you don't want to have to re-roast that.
Yeah, and like it's incredibly rewarding right there. Like he's that's awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited to actually taste some of these coffees, and to be able to see it in action is like just mind-blowing. So much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. So we're seeing the roasted beans. This is the churroso that he just finished, and it looks awesome. It's always super cool to see the beans, just the freshly roasted beans come out like that. And really, if you haven't ever seen something like this, I think it's just so cool. And it really shows like there's a lot of work to do right, and to really like get a mastery over roasting and learning about how to do something like this is quite commendable. And I think it's something that we all should definitely appreciate a bit more. It's like, look how much work these guys put in. Yeah, that's how it's done. It's just like awesome to be able to tag along and watch it all happen.
I got one.
Yeah, excited?
Yeah, super stoked. Super stoked. a hearty seed, you know, and well dried. So all the work really is done before it gets to the roaster, right? So like if a coffee is like too high of a moisture content, which we diligently check before it's shipped and then when we receive it, we want to get a moisture content reading. So if it's over 11%, we're not buying it. Also, we want to check the water activity. Basically, if that water activity is too high or too low, it's a warning sign that it's not going to have a good shelf life. It's unstable. Yeah, all that work's done before it gets into the Grain Pro and shipped, but we just have to make sure that it's within those parameters that have been proven to be successful for us. So, like if its moisture content was really high on this, it would scorch easily. The coffee would be what they call soft.
Yes, we're at Coro.
We're at Coro, which is an amazing, it's kind of the reason why I came back to California, because this space exists. And a lot of successful coffee companies have started here. And they also have this, which I can't afford, but I can rent. It's great. Stressful though, very stressful.
All right.
Whew, sweet. Yeah, it's never a relaxing thing for me. It's money in the bag. It's money in the roaster. If you mess up, I have to re-roast. I can't just send out whatever I'm not into. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in charge. I put my name on it, so it has to be good. Anyway, it's stressful. It's always that much more rewarding when it pays off in the cup, but it's like, yeah, it can be really tense for me. It's not relaxing.
Yeah, I mean, you were in the zone, like I was watching you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and it's hot, and you gotta, that's when meditation comes in handy, is because when you get to the roaster, you have to just, okay, time, temperature, rate of rise, development, these are the marks I need to hit, nothing else.
3 coffees, third one right here. Yeah, that. There we go. So that's the Kenya.
This is gonna be pleasurable. I don't know, I love it when a Kenya sings. I have a few friends who work in the industry who are working towards doing single varietal, single producer lots in Kenya, which is really hard to do. And that will probably bring about some forward motion for some people in the country. I know it's a totally different market, and but this is like kind of what we want, what we're looking for as far as just like the consistency. So I would guess that this has a higher rate of SL28 just because of the lack of off flavors that you can get from, that you generally get from Kenyan coffee. So another quality control thing that we do, how much we put in green and how much we get out. We get too much weight loss in the roaster. It's just a signifier that we roasted it too much, or how the coffee behaves as well, but just good metric for us to work against. So a lot of roasters, like most of them, will do like 13 plus, so 14, 15 even % weight loss. I'm just shooting for somewhere around 12 to 13. It depends on the coffee, but so we're close. Sweet.
Yeah, this is really cool to just watch.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's like super cool to see the processes of just like how they take the green beans and roast it and everything. And these guys are really detailed too. It's like I'm writing down notes everywhere, like keeping track of everything. You'll be able to taste like in the coffees the attention to detail that is there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice because John is a roaster, also a green buyer roaster. We've been friends for so long, but so there's like a dual thing. He's a professional in the coffee world, and then he's like one of my best dudes. So it's really nice because there's just an easy flow here, and he understands, way in, way out.
Yep.
What I'm talking about ROR, he understands what the heck's going on. When we're cupping, we're calibrated. So it's really cool just to like do production. It's really meditative, honestly.
Yeah.
Outside of the stress of the roasting, it's still like, it is a meditation, and it's really nice. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys did it today.
Yes.
Like that's that.
Yeah, we're doing it. It's kind of a dream, man. It's a dream because I've worked for so many other people, and it's like, okay, get to finally do the thing that, even if it doesn't go anywhere, but Honestly, it's enough just to have these coffees here and to roast them the way that I want to do that. That's the dream.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm hoping you guys will try their coffees because it is freaking amazing. It's great stuff.
Rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Well,
There we go. That was the coffee that Flower Child just roasted today, and I hope that was really fun. Like it was just awesome to be able to see the entire process here, kind of just the entire mission and everything behind Flower Child, and just kind of hang out with Preston. So
yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right.